What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Cocktails and Closings. I'm here at 3040 Park Avenue in Merced, California at Tone the Barberdoll. We're going to shoot another episode, we're going to chat with the team, and I'm going to get my hair cut. Let's get into it. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Cocktails and Closings. As you can see, we're not in our normal location today. Today we are shooting at 3040 Park Avenue in Merced, California. We are at Tone the Barberdoll Barbershop in Merced. They're located right behind the KFC, right across the street from Merced High. So I'm here today in the chair. I'm getting my hair cut. I'm actually hanging out with the team. So I'll introduce you to all of them in a second. But I want to start off by introducing a fellow realtor of mine and my favorite barber, who actually happens to also be my sister. So she is the owner of the shop. So she's been in business for a couple years. So I wanted to take today's episode to highlight her business and shine some light on what she's doing in the community. And then I also brought along the rest of the team, the rest of the Boulevard team. So I'm also here with Hector Garcia, and I'm also here with my dad, Eric Ellis. So welcome. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Thank you guys for tuning in to the previous episodes and just being a part of what we're building and what we're trying to grow. I appreciate each and every one of you. So again, today we are here at Tone the Barberdoll filming. We're going to talk about real estate. You guys are going to see me get my hair cut, and we're going to just hang out with the team. So I'm going to kick it over to Angela Usher, who, like I said, is the owner of Tone the Barberdoll. She's also a realtor in the industry as well. So I'm going to kick it over to her. I'm going to let her introduce herself and do her thing. And then I'll introduce you to the rest of the team as well. So, Angela?
My name is Angela Usher. I also go by Angie the Barberdoll. Or you can find me on Instagram, Angie the Barberdoll. And then for my real estate page, it is Real Property Angie. We've been open more than a couple of years. We've been open.
Sorry.
We've been open a few years now.
Our grand opening was in 2022. We've had the building since 2021. Yeah, so it's definitely been a journey. I'm just glad that we keep moving on. I'm very proud to be a Black-owned business. I'm very proud to be, just trying to build up our community here. I like to have a place where people can feel safe, feel welcomed. Anybody, from your grandma to the toddlers, to the teenagers that come from Merced High. So I'm blessed and I'm grateful that we're still here. I started my real estate journey right after my brother because we have that competitiveness.
Because she always wants to be like me.
So he got his real estate license, and I said, well, shoot, I might as well get mine too. If you gonna do it, I'm gonna do it too. So that's how that happened.
Who can out hustle who?
Right. So it's like,
what else you do, Eric?
I bartend and I DJ.
Right.
And I work in property management.
Right, but that was after the barbershop. That was after I started the barbershop, right? Okay.
Just we'll put that out there.
Okay. Well, you became a property manager because I was a property manager.
Right. That's true.
Okay.
That's true.
Right.
You got that one.
And then I got my real estate license, and then you got yours.
Okay.
Okay. So we're even. It's 2 and 2.
Okay.
It's 2 and 2.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right. Well, who's cutting his hair?
Okay.
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 All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
What else? What else I'm supposed to say? What else?
So, I mean, what made you want to get your real estate license? Well, we'll get into that later. So first, let's introduce the rest of the team, and then we'll kind of get into all of that. So right now, we'll kick it over to Eric Ellis, who is my father and Angela's father. And he had his real estate license first. So I guess we all tried to copy him. So we'll kick it over to him, and we'll let him introduce himself. And go ahead.
Yes, I am Eric Ellis the first. I am the father of Eric and Angela. These are my two youngest. We have the two youngest and have about 7 grandchildren, and we're actually growing out. We're still growing our family just as well as we're growing our business. I grew up in South Central LA. Mm-hmm. I am actually 68 years old as of the 17th of May. I grew up in South Central. I was born in Mount Vernon, New York. I left South Central and I was about 18 years old, and I went into the Army. I met my wife like the first year I was in the Army, and we're still going
And you
strong.
never got away.
And I could never get away. And it's she has given me some very outstanding kids, outstanding grandchildren. I got out of the military in 2011 after 18 years. I was in Germany, Hawaii. Actually, Angela and my oldest daughter were actually born in Germany. We left there, we went to Texas, and Eric was born in Texas. We went from Texas, we went to Oklahoma City, and that's where we adopted my youngest son, Stephen. He has 3 kids. Eric has 1, Angela has 2, and Erica has 1. And it's just growing and growing.
But I'm done.
I got out of the military.
Yeah, me too. So you ain't growing over here. I don't know who's having more that's gonna keep growing.
I'm done.
Maybe Steven.
Hector. No. He said, you can't go that way, huh?
Hector said, whoa, hey.
I can't make one of those. After my military, I became a correctional officer. I retired in 2011 from the federal prison right here in Atwater, the penitentiary out there in Atwater. I retired from there in 2011. I was able to retire at 53 years old because I had the military and I had the federal job behind it. So I was able to retire at a young age, and I thought, what am I going to do with myself? So I decided I was going to go and get my real estate license. And it wasn't as easy as I thought it would be, because I actually took it 7 times. Mm-hmm. And I told my wife and I told my kids every time I didn't pass it that I wasn't quitting, and that one day I'll get it, so I'll be able to provide for my family. And I did that. And actually, that last time when I went to take it, I was on crutches. I think I had a hip replacement. Mm. And I went up there and I did the test, and I came out, and they tell you not to look at the paper, you know. They tell you not to look at the paper inside the door. So, and I said, well, I might as well not even look at it. But before I even took one step to the elevator, I was popping it open, and that thing said pass. And I said, now open it. I checked the name and looked around to make sure where I was at. So that was a very, very big accomplishment for me. I did that, and while nursing that hip replacement, I actually started going to college. I dropped out of high school when in the 11th grade. I didn't get my GED till I was about 30, 31, 32 years old. And I started going back to college. I actually have a bachelor's in physical training and personal strength training. I have a bachelor's in business entrepreneurship, and I also have an MBA. And I'm currently working on my broker license, and I do various other areas of real estate that I'm studying on. We've been here in Merced since 2000. Mm-hmm. We came here with, my intention was to come here for about 2 or 3 years, and now it's been 26. We've made a lot of contacts here. We've made a lot of friends. And I'm grateful to be here, and I'm grateful to be part of this team.
Okay.
Awesome.
Hector?
I don't have a long resume like that.
How do you follow that?
I can't. So there you go. Now, Hector Garcia with Boulevard Real Estate here in the Central Valley team. I've been doing real estate full time for 5 years. And people think I've been doing it longer, but no, it's only been 5. I actually started purchasing our first house, 11 years ago? And that's kind of how we started with the real estate, you know, understanding that. A few years later, we, you know, started learning a little bit more. I think the main reason why we got into, or I got into real estate is my parents actually lost their home back in 2008. And at the time, I think I was a senior at San Jose State. I was about to graduate. I didn't know what was going on. I was in San Jose at the time. And my parents were selling the house, or that's what they were telling me at least, you know, and actually they had lost the home, which I didn't know until years later. And so not knowing what was going on until years later really like stood out to me. So I started asking questions, and I found out that they lost the house during the crash. And so that was kind of one of the main reasons why kind of I wanted to get into real estate and learn more about it. Just because my parents got into a lending product that was not suitable for them. It was a variable loan. You know, obviously you get hooked with a nice interest rate at the beginning, but then years pass by and your payments continue to grow based on the interest rate. So they weren't well educated, right? And so I think I based my business on educating folks and making sure that people understand what they're getting into versus just, hey, like, get into this house and you could afford it right now, right? And so I think, you know, I base everything on do the right thing, be transparent, be respectful, be honest with the work, and I think everything will come back to you tenfold as far as how you do business. And so, you know, that's kind of how I've been leading my businesses, you know, teach, educate, and then, you know, good things will come from that. And you know, that's kind of how I got into real estate. But, you know, tracking back again is, you know, I was in corporate America for 13 years in the travel industry. And, you know,
travel?
Yeah. So, so business travel. I was Enterprise, the rental car company. And then from there, I was in the operations for about 5. Then I went into the business travel, where I pretty much put packages together for corporate accounts that travel for business. So like the Googles, Apples, let's just say they're traveling to another city for business. We put programs together so they can rent cars. Became a transportation programs and stuff like that. Then I started working for a startup company for a few years, you know. From there, I started dabbling into real estate, kind of to sell real estate, right? But people kept asking me about the investment side a lot. That I'm like, you know what, I might as well just get my license, right? So I think blending what happened to my parents, and then also people wanting to educate people about what I was doing in the investment side and putting them together. That's when I got my license and started going. And when I was doing, I started dabbling into it. It was going really good. That I just said, hey man, I think this is the time. I had saved up my good savings, and I made the leap, which is kind of the scariest thing, going from a guaranteed paycheck to like an entrepreneur, or like you're you know, working for yourself, right? And it does help that I have a spouse that has a job too, you know, like you know, if you're kind of doing it alone, it's just really, really tough. But I was able to take the leap and do it. And I actually moved out here to the Central Valley in 2021 when COVID hit. Temporarily, I was supposed to stay here for only a year as well. Like, hey, we're gonna get a year, and then we're gonna go back. It's been 5 years now, so I think we're calling.
You're not going anywhere.
I don't think so. Plus, our in-laws are out here, and that's how we decided to come out here. Our in-laws are really helpful with the kids, and you know how it takes a village to raise kids, right?
Absolutely.
And so I think at this point I've built a community. We have a team now, and it's hard to leave, you know, especially trying to go back. And housing market in the Bay Area where I grew up is tough.
I was going to ask you. So how do you feel like the housing market here in Merced compares to the housing market in the Bay?
Obviously, the price is the biggest thing, you know.
Right. Do you feel like it's harder to, like, for a newer agent? Do you feel like it's harder to get your foot in, or to get your name out there, as opposed to being somewhere smaller like Merced? Or
well, this is what I think. In the Bay Area, there's a lot more high-paying jobs than there is in the Valley. I think a lot more people here become realtors because they think they can make some money doing real estate. If you don't do the business as it should be, you're not going to make any money. I think you have to be committed, be consistent, and treat it as a real job, as a real career, versus, hey, I'm gonna just get my license and I'm gonna do it part-time. Then you can't really do it as a
see what happens
to live off of. It's not feasible. In the Bay Area, you're competing with all these other high-paying jobs. So I think there's less realtors. Yeah. So I think, again, I might be wrong. I don't know the numbers, but I feel like here, there's realtors everywhere. I think everybody you talk to, they know about 5 or 6 realtors, right? Yeah. Whereas in the Bay Area, you probably know 1, maybe 2.
Right.
So it's a lot different. The population's a lot bigger. So that's kind of how I see it. It's that different as far as a realtor is concerned. Now, as far as the housing market and cost, obviously it's way more expensive out there. The demand is higher.
Yeah, that's obvious.
And then when I tell people like, hey, move out here, and everybody always says like, well, it's too hot. I'm like, I think it's hot for 4 months out of the out of the year. Yeah. The other times it's kind of I enjoy it. I don't know. I don't know, but I think
honestly the weather hasn't been bad this year.
It just got hot last week.
Yeah. I think next week we're supposed to break 100, so I'm not. Yeah. I mean, I'm not looking forward to that. But
Thursday, Friday is supposed to be.
It's going to happen at some point. So, but.
Yeah, but I mean the market in the Bay Area is crazy. I mean, I lived in San Jose for 13 years. Mm-hmm. I remember around San Jose State. I went to San Jose State. I forgot to mention that San Jose State got 2 degrees in business management and hospitality management. Mm-hmm. So I also worked in the hotel industry for a little while.
Yeah, and you were also realtor of the year.
Oh yeah.
Man, that should be the biggest one right there.
Yeah.
That was later.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, you were saving that for later?
Yeah. Oh man. No, it's all right. I like to be humble.
I should have said it out loud then. No,
yeah. Where were we at? I'm kind of lost.
You went to San Jose State.
Oh yeah, I went to San Jose State. But I remember the housing market. I mean, it boomed in the last 20 years. It's been crazy.
Right.
I still remember there was fruit orchards around San Jose, but now there's nothing. I mean, next to San Jose now there's Morgan Hill and Gilroy, which smaller towns that are now big towns.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So people commute. It's not uncommon for you to have a 1-hour commute in the Bay Area, which is crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
I remember I commuted for a long time.
Yeah.
My longest commute was an hour and a half each way. And then my shortest commute was 5 minutes. I actually lived around the corner from one of the locations I used to manage.
Yeah.
That's cool. That was like go home for lunch. It was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bay Area is a whole different lifestyle. But I enjoy it out here. I call this home, and like I said, I built the good relationships out here so far.
Yeah, for sure. So, obviously, the real estate industry changes all the time. Just from month to month, year to year, things change. So, how I feel like everybody on the team is kind of at different points in their careers, and I know, like for you, Hector, like getting into the industry, like how did you get your name out there? Like what did you do, to get your name out there, to get business, to get leads? Like that's like the number one thing that all realtors are like, well, how do I get business? You know what I mean? Yeah. So when you got in, because how long have you had your license? You've had your license
It's been about 13 years, 14 years.
Yeah. So, obviously when you got in, it was different from when Hector got in.
Yeah.
And, it was different when I got in and when Angela got in and all of that. So what do you think or what did you do in order to get business, like to get your name out there? Yeah. And what do you think, for a newer agent, someone, like Angela, who's still pretty new, what do you think is the best way to build that clientele, like to build your business?
Well, that's a good question, because when I came to Merced, I didn't know anybody aside from my in-laws and then their friends and then Roshni's friend. Like she knew some people, but I feel like I know more people than she does now. And it's because I've been out there, right? Yeah. Right. And I think the first thing is, and this is what I tell a lot of my teams or anybody that's asking me this question, is don't be a secret agent. Yeah. A lot of people like go out and about and never have that conversation or let people know that you are in real estate, right? And it should come natural, but you have to let people know that you're in real estate and somehow showcase it, whether it's on social media. You have to have some type of social media presence, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, and now TikTok, you know?
Right.
Those are kind of the big 3 platforms that a lot of people are using. Always be out there. Go to events, showcase, wear branding clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I like to wear my hat. I didn't wear it today, but I'm always wearing Boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
And get involved. I think that's the biggest thing. Meet people. And
Yeah.
I right away when I came here, I joined YPN. I think you talked about it in your other episodes.
Yep.
That's how I was able to meet the people in the industry, right? And then from there we had events, so I was able to meet other people. So I was always not shy to meet people and get out there, right? And I feel like for somebody not being here, only being here 5 years, I think I know a lot of people by being out there.
Right.
And
just mostly talking.
Yeah.
You know,
and just talking. You could.
people.
It's natural. Coaching.
Right.
You know, volunteering, doing cleanup days. You know, there's a bunch of stuff you can do, and at the end of the day, somebody's gonna ask you, "What do you do?" And that's when you tell them, like, "Oh, well, I'm a real estate." You know? It comes natural.
Yeah.
But involved. Be present in social media. You know, volunteer when you can. And just don't stay at home not doing nothing, pretty much.
Yeah.
You have to be out and about.
Yeah.
Well, I find myself at home a lot, but I have my reasons.
Yeah.
But it's I have that drive, and from when I first started, I was at another realtor here. I'm not gonna name the name, but they had it where you did the floor time, you know, where you were there, you answered the phone, and that's how you get your lead. You know, but if they don't give you that floor time, then you need to find other ways of doing it.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, and they will attest to you. I mean, if we went to the store, I was always talking.
Yeah.
I would talk
Always.
to.
That hasn't changed.
I would talk.
That has
and
not
I still
changed.
do. I talk to.
You guys saw how long his intro was, right? That hasn't changed.
Oh, now you go.
That hasn't changed.
But you know, and it's just that conversation. It's just that conversation with people. I mean, I can be in the store and go help an old lady get a can off the shelf.
Yeah.
And next thing I know, I'm talking to the woman about 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And she knows this person. I know that, you know.
Yeah.
And you never know till you start talking to people.
I think the biggest thing, people expect their broker to give them leads or give them business, and that's not how it works. You have to generate that.
Right.
It's got to come organically.
Yeah, and people have to know that you're actually serious about your career, because who's going to trust you in their biggest purchase if they don't trust you? People do business with people they like and trust, right? And I always say that. And if they don't think they trust you because you're not taking your career seriously, why would they be your client, or why would they connect with you? So I think that's the biggest thing. And I'm not a big fan of paying for leads. I know a lot of people do.
Yeah.
I think 100% of my leads are not, they're not paid. A referrals is something else. If I get a referral from another agent, then obviously, they get a referral fee. And that's something that we do. I know Ricky is another person in our team in the Bay Area. He's our team lead. And we go to conferences and we get creative. We give out not just our business cards, but we give out little tequila bottles, imported from Mexico. And like, this was like, oh, well, you gave me this. So we've actually gotten business that way from our other business partners in other states. And so that client becomes, that they're going to refer somebody else to us. And it's just a snowball effect. So having your hands in different things will generate business for you long term.
Yeah, and
there's the main thing, building that confidence with people.
Yeah. And kind of going back, to what you were saying, like the branding too. People tend to go with brands that they're familiar with.
Century 21.
Right. It's like you have all these bigger brokerages, and it's like people are more drawn to them because it's like, oh, I know Century 21, or I know, Coldwell Bankers, like I know those guys, but it's like, coming from a smaller brokerage like Boulevard, it's like people are like, oh, I've never heard of you guys, and I'm like, I always tell people, you will, like just you know, just keep paying attention, like you will, you know. So it's, you know, building that brand too, and that's something that, you know, Angela's always been really good about. So like if anybody watching, if you haven't been to the shop, even if you're not getting a haircut, if you don't need a haircut, stop by the shop and you'll see like the tremendous job that Angela's done just branding the shop. Anytime you go to any of the mercados or, you know, these community events, like if you see black and orange, it's usually Angela. It's usually, you know, Tone the Barberdoll out there with their tent and all of that. So, you know, I kind of want Angela to talk about how important branding was, you know, when you were building the shop, and how do you feel like that's helped you building your business, you know, and just having people be able to recognize you more.
It's very important. I feel like in any type of business you do, what you have to make yourself stand out from the others. When it comes to barbershops, Merced is too small and we have too many barbershops. So it's like you have to think, okay, what is going to make me stand out from the rest, where people are going to be like, oh yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. Right. So I always wanted it to be something that people would remember about our shop. Yeah. And us being so close to Merced High, it's like, okay, well, I want the kids, I want them to feel welcome. I want them to know this is their shop, you know. Yeah. I want them to come through. So let's just do the colors orange and black, you know what I mean? Yeah. So just with that idea, I was like, okay, well, everything about to be orange and black. Anything that I could find orange and black, make it work, you know? Yeah. So just having that in mind, and then wherever I go, if it's, you know, something that I'm promoting the shop for, I'm gonna make sure that I'm wearing orange so that people know, I seen that one black lady in the orange. Like they know they're gonna remember me somehow. And I remember going to the UC, and some of the UC kids were like, I know when I see you, you're gonna be in some type of orange. So it's like, as long as I just keep that going, I'm like, okay, people gonna know who I am, and I can be able, and then it's easy to just start a conversation off that. Right. You know, like, okay, why every time I see you in orange? Because I'm, you know what I mean? Right. So
because that's our shop. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely been helpful when it comes to promoting the shop. But then also, I just like the uniform of it. Right. I do feel like a lot of shops could benefit from having a woman present, or just, you know what I mean? I knew when, you know, just being a single mom, taking my son to the shop, I was like, you know, you walk in and it just feels
it is just
little,
men.
Yeah, it's just a little harsh sometimes. Sometimes the music that's being played, maybe it's just intimidating because it's a lot of men and you're a woman.
It kind of softens it a little bit.
So I know in my mind, I was like, I'm going to open a shop, and one of the main focuses, I want everyone to feel welcome. I want people to feel like, okay, I'm comfortable here. I can, you know, my kids are here. Some people just drop their kids off. Yeah. And now we play babysitter, you know, like they just come drop their kids off, but they feel that comfortable to be like, okay, it's a safe space. I know they're gonna enjoy themselves with the air hockey and the games. Yeah. So it's, you know, definitely a dream come true when it comes to, you know, owning the shop. Yeah. But just making sure you brand yourself well, and even, you know, just being a realtor, you are the brand. You're the business. Right. So wherever we go, it's like, okay, you gotta, you know, I would say you would want to be presentable. You know, when people see you and stuff like that, they're gonna be like, "That's the realtor. I see you."
She look regular. He looking regular.
I know. In this bad road. I've definitely had to be, I think, a little more conscious about that since I've become a realtor, because I'm like, I'm gonna go and somebody's gonna recognize me, or somebody's gonna recognize me as, oh, that's the guy that bartends, or that's the DJ. Like, so I'm like, okay,
what he got on?
Yeah, so I'm like, okay.
You know,
I'm like,
you know what's crazy?
Hey, let me brush my teeth before I leave the house.
Yeah, I like to even like just, even if it's like a polo or something, and I know I'm gonna just stay at home, I still kind of get dressed a little bit, because you feel, if you feel good, you perform good, right? And so
we're going to take Angela and make the front of her, the barber, and make the back of her boulevard.
Well, I remember when we were talking, you know, initially she already had all these ideas about Boulevard and when we were gonna,
I was like, oh yes,
yeah. And she's like, we're gonna have the barbershop and Mercado in one side, and then the.
Did we not do that?
We did, yeah.
We did.
And so I think that vision could continue for a long time to come, you know. So that's pretty cool on the two brands, you know.
I just feel like that's so important, you know. You know, even with my little side businesses, you know, that I've kind of started building. Like, you know, I've always looked at how Angela brands things, and I'm like, okay, like I got to do better. Like I got to step it up. Like I got to get different shirts, or I got to get shoes that match, or I got to do this, or I got to do that. So it's definitely
that competitiveness. You remember?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, she's winning. She's winning in that department. Okay, she's winning in the branding department.
I think if you don't have competitiveness, you stay stale.
Yeah.
And you stay stale and you don't grow.
Yeah.
You're stagnant.
Yeah.
So
And it could be obviously friendly competition or whatever, but
because whatever goes around comes around, right? You know. I mean, we do for you. You know, we all do for each other, and it always comes back.
Yeah.
So
you know, and that you know, that's definitely a one of the things that I like about Boulevard is just the being able to collaborate, and like, you know, we all are, you know, we're all kind of a team, and we work together and we support each other, you know, like even, you know, not just the team here, but, you know, even in the Bay Area, like I've gone down and bartended events for Ricky, you know, and bartended open houses for him and all of that. So, you know, I think it's definitely important that we, you know, we have that collaborative effort, because it'll help everybody grow, you know. Like I've been working really hard over the last, you know, year, you know, last couple months to really get going in real estate, and, you know, getting business and things like that. And, you know, we have a deal going on right now that I was able to bring Angela in on, you know, and kind of get her first transaction going. So it's like, you know, I was excited about that, because it's like, you know, everybody gets to eat, you know, that kind of mentality. So I think that's definitely important. And that's one of the things that I like about Boulevard, is it's not this huge office and there's, you know, 200 agents, and it's like you meet somebody and you're like, I didn't know you worked for Boulevard. Like, you know, we know everybody that works for Boulevard, you know. So
I've dealt with some other realtors that I mean, you're going to show their house.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't talk to him the whole weekend, got everything set up, you know, and I get there and there's no key.
Yeah.
So I call him up. Well, I try to call him, he don't answer the phone.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not gonna name a brokerage, but there's one particular brokerage here.
The second time you said that, he wants to throw somebody under the bus.
I mean, those people, they have no idea. They have no idea, you know, what each other are doing. You know, I'm not saying you need to report to, you know, but at least, I mean, if you tell me to, and I'm trying to sell your property, but you don't answer the phone,
right?
And I mean, I'm standing here looking stupid. Now, and these people probably came from the Bay Area, because I dealt with a lot of people from San Jose. You know, so now I'm standing here looking stupid. You know, they have a nice big office, a lot of people, but probably half of them, like they say, probably half of them don't even know each other. You know, so what are you building? And those are the people that are worried about themselves. They're just worried about themselves. You know, and then they get behind that name, and a lot of times that name can ruin your name. So
that's definitely one thing, you know. And because I mean, Hector and I, like, you know, we help each other out all the time. You know, like Hector's like, hey, I'm going to Mexico. Like, can you go show this listing? I'm like, yeah, you know, no problem. You know what I mean? Like we do that a lot, you know. And like Hector did an open house for me today. Like, you know, those are the things that just make it easier for all of us, you know, because it's like we all have lives and we all have things going on. You know, we have kids, we have other businesses, you know, we have full-time jobs. Like some of us have things going on, so it's nice to be able to have that, like, hey, you know, can you go show this house for me at 2, you know, and you know, we'll always try to help each other out, you know, whenever that deal closes or whatever. You know, that's great. And that, you know, like I said, that was really one of the things that I liked about you know, about Boulevard. And that was one of the things that I looked for when I was trying to decide on brokerages. You know, I wanted to go somewhere that was a little bit smaller, but it was like, I wasn't, you know, I wasn't in an office or trying to fight for floor time or whatever. You know, I didn't want that. So, you know, and I went to another brokerage. I'm not gonna name no brokerage. I'm not gonna say names, but
slander.
no, no. I went to another brokerage, and it wasn't, you know, and it wasn't the right fit, you know. But I went into that brokerage with the same mentality, like, you know, it was a smaller brokerage, but I felt like, okay, it'll be a unit, it'll be cohesive, and you know, and unfortunately, like, that didn't work out. You know, unfortunately, that didn't work out. But it's like coming to Boulevard has just been like night and day. And you even pointed out, like, your social media, like, you're always posting now, and I'm like, yeah, because I know if I don't, I always have that voice in the back of my head. I'm like, I know Hector's gonna call me. I'm like, I have to post something today.
Well, it's friendly. What do we call it? Accountability, right?
Yeah.
That's just the way we do. And we, like you mentioned, sometimes in other brokerages they don't know what's going on with each other, right? Yeah. We talk almost all the time. Yeah. Right? I'm like, hey, what's up with that deal? What do you have going on? Like, it's because sometimes you could think of ways to either communicate with your clients that maybe you didn't think of. So that's why I asked. It's not like I'm all like, you know, pretty much. Not checking in, I don't think that's the right word, but it's more of like, hey, let me see if I can help you out somehow.
Yeah. I mean, and that's great, you know, because, you know, for someone like me, I've been in real estate, you know, 3 going on 4 years now, you know, but you've been in it full time, you know, a lot longer than I have. Yeah. So it's like, there's still some things that I'm like, I don't know how to handle this, but I know, like, well, I can, you know, I can call Hector. I can even call my dad. Like, I'll ask my dad questions, and he's like, well, do this or do that, and I'm like, okay, you know. So it's nice to have that, you know. It's nice to have, like you said, just to have that, you know, not checking in, not, you know, reporting to anybody, but just being able to have that. And
I thought Hector had more than 5. I thought she had more than 5 years.
That's what people think.
Yeah,
I like
because he was Realtor of the Year and Man of the Year
and Man of the
and Man of the Year.
I mean,
I know.
Well, and I know he's out there for himself, but he's also out there.
But it helps us build our brand.
He's
too,
out there promoting all of us,
which is important. So
it's not just even though we're solo agents, we're still collaborative.
Right.
Well, how we do business.
Right.
And that's more, and that's mostly what it takes.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. Being able to collaborate with each other. I know the other brokerage I was at, my very first deal.
He's not gonna name
the brokerage.
We're gonna talk after this because I want to know.
My very first sale. All right, my very first sale. I had the people call me.
Yeah.
They asked me to show them. I think it was 2 properties. I got dressed, I got up, showed them the property, and they wanted to make an offer. How the hell, what do I do? You know? So I called my mentor, or the guy that was supposed to be there to train me.
Yeah.
Right? I called him, and he said, hey, well, I got family in town, can't do it right now. I'm like, so what am I supposed to do? Just go in there to the office, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
So real estate is not an industry you can just figure it out.
So it was an older lady that I had met a few years ago, and she had given me one of her cards. Come to find out, I think no. Matter of fact, she had given me the card, and then when I started there, she was already working there.
Got it.
Right? So I pulled the card out, and I said, I'm gonna call her. I called her. She was in her garden on her weekend, doing her leisure thing. She came and she met me there at that office. She had on came in there looking like a potato farmer. She had on boots, mud, dirt, everything to come in there and help me.
Yeah.
Because she knew it was my first one. That lady came in there, she helped me from the start to the finish. And you know they threatened to fire her? Threatened to fire her because she came and helped me.
Yeah.
So after that, I said, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I went and I told him, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity, and I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah.
But that guy sat there on that phone. Oh no, yeah, I got family in town. Can't help you. What?
Yeah, I mean, and
But
like I said,
we supposed to be a team, though.
right? And like I said, and I, you know, like I said, I get it. Like everybody's got things going on, you know. Everybody, but it's like I know if I have a question, like, and I call Hector, and it's like Hector doesn't have the answer, or he doesn't answer, which doesn't ever happen. He'll always tell me, "I always have time for you."
I always have.
But
Well, he calls me. Sorry.
He call you all the time. I'm like,
are you busy? I'm like, apparently not. I'm answering the phone.
But I don't know what you're doing. I mean, you could be somewhere
busy,
with
I'll
the
be like,
kids, or
decline.
okay. Well, I mean, I don't ever know. I mean, I'm trying to be polite,
get it.
but you know, but
if you
but
busy,
it's
just don't answer the phone. That's
but
all.
it's like, you know, if you don't answer the phone, like I know I can call my dad, like I know I can call Ricky, like I've even called Josh on things before. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I have other avenues, and I know like people are going to answer the phone, and it's gonna be like, okay, well we'll help you as much as we can. You know, it's not we'll figure it out on your own, because it's like real estate is one of those industries that you cannot just figure things out on your own.
You don't
like,
figure that out.
especially if you don't know. Like you can't figure anything
people
out.
making the biggest purchases in their life.
I remember my first transaction. It was kind of like that, and I was just like, okay, well, what do I do? Like, like what do I do? Like, how do I write this up? Like, what does this mean? Like, what forms do I send? You know, like just all of this, the basic things that like realtors do on a day to day. It's like when you're not aligned with the right brokerage or the right mentor or whatever, it's like those are the people that usually sink, because it's like
But those are the people that don't even stick with it,
Right.
Because they see like, okay, this is something else. But then when you don't have somebody like Hector that's willing to be a mentor, because there's people that are doing great, they're doing awesome for themselves. They don't worry about nobody else. You know what I mean? So the fact that you have somebody, but this is the same thing I say about barbering too. Like you want a good mentor. You want somebody that's going to take the time, because when you go to the school, they're going to teach you what you need to know to pass the test.
Correct.
But when you get out here to a shop, they're not teaching you customer service, like you speak into a client, or your skill levels, like the rating that you want to do. They're not teaching you that stuff. So it's like you need somebody that's been in the game long enough that is willing to say, you know what, I got you, or I'm gonna show you the way, and be willing to listen. So the same thing about real estate, and I feel like that's what draws me to real estate as well. Is it's just like barbering, it's a hustle, and it's what you're gonna put into it. You know, I was watching a video and it was talking about they were talking about fitness, and they're like, you're not gonna get, you know, like this, you know, physique if you're putting in 50% of the work. You know, people see things and they're like, well, real estate, they see people make great money with it, but you're not gonna make great money with it if you're putting in 50% of the work.
You're
so
not seeing the hustle.
what you put into it, that's what you're gonna get out of it. You know what I mean? The same with barbering, the same type of hustle. So it's in that person, it's in you to be like, okay, you know what, this is what I'm gonna put forth, this is what I want out of this, you know. And with barbering, you see people come and go, because you're like, okay, they got their license, but are they willing to go out here and sacrifice their time and just go and talk to people and let them know, hey, I'm a barber, I just started working at so and so, you know, like come see me, I got the. But the same with real estate, we got to go out there, we got to tell people the same type of thing, like I'm a realtor, and bring it into the conversation somehow.
It's just, you know, like you said, barbering and real estate, like they resemble each other so closely because of like the entrepreneurship that goes into it. And it's like, you know, when you're a barber, like you said, people have to know you're a barber, like otherwise you're not going to get clients. Like you're not going to get people just walking in the door like, oh, I'm going to go, you know, I'm going to have you cut my hair. Like that just very rarely happens. And it's the same thing with real estate. Like if people don't know you're a realtor, no one's gonna call you and be like, "Hey, I'm trying to buy a house," or you know what I mean? Like,
but I think what you mentioned is having a mentor to teach them the service skills, because you want to create that client base and that repeated client, right? So you want them to have a great experience in the chair, so they can come back. The same thing with real estate. If you don't create that great experience, are they going to come back to you for future? You know, purchases or sales or whatever.
You're gonna give them
or refer you to anybody.
Reputation. So they're gonna have a good or bad experience. So one way they're gonna talk about you. It's just which way are they gonna talk about you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
yeah, it's very similar in the way you engage with clients. It's
Right.
just obviously with barbering is more volume.
Yeah.
You know, obviously
Yeah.
with real estate it's less,
Yeah.
but you can create those
Right.
those cheerleaders. You know,
Yeah.
if they're a client that
Yeah.
is always talking good about you, that's
Right.
your walking billboard, and that's
Yeah.
what you
Right.
want. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah, social media is good and bad because
Yeah.
people will put on there
Yeah,
whether they
that's
got a
the
good
thing.
cut or they got a bad cut. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you gotta always try your best. And like I said, it's what you're putting into it. You know,
Yeah.
are you putting in 50 or are you putting in 100?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're gonna have a bad day and something's gonna fall, but it's how you
Right.
bounce back
Right.
is what
Yeah.
makes you as a professional, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, professionalism. That's
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
tell the guys all the time. I'm like, you know, somebody could come in here and they could not care for the cut. They could not care for the cut. And you're still gonna charge them. It's like, you know what? No, it's rather you save your reputation
Yeah.
before they leave out of here and say, hey, you know, this guy, you know, did so and so, so and so. It's like, and I always tell them too, you know, I said, yes, this is my shop, but this is also your reputation as well. And you don't want him going out talking bad about you. So you know what I mean? Like you got to ease this over and you got to
We talk
know.
about that person.
You have to know how to speak to people in a professional way as well, you know, because people, you know nowadays people are crazy and they'll talk to you anyhow.
Yeah.
But I always tell them, like, you know, when all else fails, professionalism. Just be professional, you know.
Professional, polite, and you know, own up to
Still
things
be
that
strong.
Right.
when you know you messed up or like
Right.
I apologize. What can I do to make it up?
Right. That's it.
Those are like
That's
basic.
Right.
That's it.
That's
Yeah, I
it.
mean, and we live in a world now where everybody has a smartphone in their hand, so it's like, you know,
Yeah.
if something
Ready
happens,
to
it's like
record,
people
too.
are always quick to
Be ready to
people are
record.
always quick to you know
Pull out
to
that
pull
phone.
out that phone and
Boy.
record, and you know they hit one button and it's in front of millions of people, so
Yeah.
it's like, you
Yeah.
know, you have to, and that kind of goes back to like being more conscious of like, okay, like I am trying to create a business and a brand, and you know I can't just go to the store and whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because somebody's gonna take a picture and be like, look what Eric got on at the store.
I went to
So-
the bank one time just to deposit money. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm just going to go through the drive-thru. So I just went in my pajamas. You know, the machine, sometimes it messes up. So then I
Oh,
had
yeah.
to get out and walk up to the thing. And I said, watch, I'm going to see somebody I know. Sure enough, I saw somebody I knew. I said, it never fails. When you
Yeah.
think you're gonna see somebody,
Yeah.
you're gonna see somebody.
Yeah.
And it was the orange stripe. You know, that was the all-in-one. It was all. Yes, I said, wow. I knew it.
Yeah, that never fails. I see somebody I know everywhere I go, and I'm sure Hector, I'm sure you're the same way. Like you're,
Yeah.
you know,
Me too.
through all the things that we do, you know, and as long as we've been here and you know coaching and being involved in community events, like you always see somebody that you know.
Yeah.
And it never fails. Like Amanda always gets mad 'cause she's just like, we always see somebody that you know, like everywhere we go, and I'm like, that's a good thing though.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was in the Walmart the other day, and from when I was coaching Ange, Tasha,
Oh yeah.
I saw her in the store, and this is the first time I've seen her since then.
Yeah.
I haven't seen her, so I didn't know who she was, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm looking, and she was looking, and I was like, "What's she looking at?" She had like 3-4 kids, and,
Yeah.
and I'm like, and she looked. She said, "Papa Ellis," and then I remembered who she was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was on the team with Angela when I was coaching over
Okay.
at the high
Yeah.
school.
Yeah. It's a small community.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting because I have
Yeah.
where we live, on our block, 2 doors down, Roshni's 4th grade teacher lives there.
Oh wow.
And then
That's
around the
cool.
corner,
Mhm.
her teacher's teacher lives there too. So there's
Oh, wow.
generations
Wow.
Yeah.
of teachers in
crazy.
there.
Damn.
So there's
Okay.
one,
That's
two, there's
cool.
like 3 generations
Yeah.
living there, which is crazy. And so like
Yeah.
if you see each other, it's like, hold
Yeah.
on.
Wait, what's it? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It never fails.
Yeah.
It never fails. But so we've kind of talked about business. We talked about, the team and building your brand and all that other stuff. So, I kind of want to, of course, like I said, the main focus and this platform is for people to get to know you guys, not just as business owners and realtors and professionals, but, also get to know you on a more personal level. So I want you guys to all kind of talk about something that you do outside of your business, something that you do, for leisure or whatever, something that you like to do, something that you want to do, a goal that you have, something like that. I want you guys to kind of each touch on that, and just like I said, just for people to kind of get to know you guys a little bit more. So we'll start with Angela first.
Oh man.
Since you want to finish your head.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so then start with Hector then. Okay, Hector, you start then. Okay, we'll stop interrupting.
All right. So, I guess we'll start. So, let's see. What do I like doing? So, I just got done coaching Little League.
Mm-hmm.
So, I do enjoy coaching Little League because that kind of kills two birds with one stone. I get to hang out with my son, and I also get to coach. I also promote my business that way,
Yeah.
You put it in your jersey, you're a sponsor. There's a lot of organic ways they do it, But like coaching, I like running a lot. You guys know that. I actually, this year I took a step back on running, but I do enjoy it.
Any marathons this year?
No, not this year. No. They had one today here, an unofficial Merced marathon. I don't know if you saw that. Micah with Central Valley Podcast. They hosted
Was that
it.
the one I was asking you about? Was that the one or no?
No,
That's
that's a
not the
different.
one.
That's
Okay.
One of the CrossFit gyms is having one in September. That's the one you're talking about.
Okay.
Mid-State CrossFit.
okay.
So shout out to them. Mid-State CrossFit is having a marathon. But I like running. A lot of my time is spent with the kids though right now. And then something that I do, it seems like a chore, but I actually started to enjoy is doing my yard work, to be honest. I enjoy it.
You're getting old.
Yeah.
That means I'm getting old. Yes, I am.
When you start enjoying,
When you start enjoying that job,
when you start enjoying yard work,
nice.
or you get excited about kitchen appliances,
Yeah.
that means you're getting.
We're
that means
going
you're getting
shopping.
old.
You got a new weed eater and all that.
Yep.
Yeah, you getting old,
Yeah.
Hector.
No, I just
Like the
just-
Geico commercials.
I just like to be
Turn
in the
into your
back.
thing.
Don't bother me. It's more of like stress reliever because nobody's
Yeah.
bugging me. I just go into the back and I do my
Yeah, just go in there, put your music on.
yeah.
and
Just go
go
do
out
my
there.
thing.
Let me tell you, if I go to any
That's a lot
event
of
with
yard,
Hector,
man.
I'm looking
Oh.
forward to Hector dancing.
Oh yeah, I like to dance.
I'm looking forward to it. That's why I went to that birthday party. I was like, okay, I know Hector. I asked you, I was like, is Hector coming? I already know he about to.
Yeah, I know. That's what I told you at the wedding.
Acting up.
At Mark and Jennifer's wedding. Shout out to Lantern and Shield Home Inspections if you guys need a good home inspector. They're great home inspectors. So, but they got married recently and I DJ'd their wedding and I told myself if no one at this wedding dances, I know that
Hector's
Hector's
gonna be up in there
No,
dancing.
So I know Hector's gonna dance. So
But yeah, a lot
I
of
know
people
at
dance,
least-
so that was good.
yeah, I know.
I like some good music.
It started people going, all right?
Huh?
Started other people
Oh
getting
yeah,
out there.
yeah. There was a few people that started. I got in there, and
Yeah,
then
for sure.
Eric did his magic with his music, right?
Mm-hmm.
I try.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of
Okay.
a few things. There's a lot more that I like to do, but I'll leave it up there. What do you like to do, Eric?
Let me turn you around. real quick
Read.
so I can look like-
Read.
I love reading. I love reading about things that I don't know about. Especially a lot of childhood, diseases. I read a lot about the dementia and Alzheimer's and things like that because we're actually all experiencing that now with their mom. I love working out. I have my own personal gym. I have my own personal gym at home. And Angela tries to get me over there to the crunch, and I need to, but it's just a lot of time with the time,
It's convenience right there.
Yeah, and I got everything right there at home. I got treadmill, bikes, weights, and everything you could think of.
Yeah.
I got right there at home. I love being with the grandkids, and those grandkids they keep me young. Okay? Oh yeah. And especially, I like being there for them. Just mostly teaching them about life. Uh, Trying to teach them to uh, how you deal with people. How you deal with relationships, how you talk to people, because that's going to be the very first thing somebody's going to notice when you start talking to them.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be nice and, dressed to the T or whatever, but open your mouth and something stupid come out, and that's going to be the thing that they're going to remember you for, right?
Yeah, that's true.
They're not going to remember it. Well, they'll remember, oh yeah, that's the guy that dressed real good, but he's an idiot, things like that.
Yeah.
So, this social media is great tool, but it can also destroy you too.
Yeah.
It can also it can ruin your business. But if you get in there and you maintain, just like you were saying, when something happens, do you go in the corner and say, ooh, ooh,
Yeah.
No, that's going to be on you. If you get out there and you continue pushing through it, you'll persevere.
Yeah.
So I have been a testament to that myself. I've had situations that I've experienced, and it's mostly learning. If you don't learn from it, then you'll never learn.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always going to be mistakes, that you're going to make, but you have to just own up to them. If you made a mistake, just own up to it. If to nobody else, at least to yourself.
Yeah.
So you still have that worth.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Teachings to the next generation.
Well, you try to, and everything that we do every day, consciously or unconsciously, they see that. You get kids that want to, emulate their parents or emulate other people,
Yeah.
That's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine. But be you.
For sure.
Be you, because you're the one that's going to come out to that person, to that prospect, to that client. It's going to be you,
Correct.
not what they associate with you. It's going to be you as a person.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
I've always been on, I've always been on them about their writing. They come home with their schoolwork.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't give it to dad.
Yeah.
Because I get in there and I
Yeah.
just because I want them to be presentable to people.
Yeah.
So
No, that's good. That's good.
that's my
Yeah.
spiel.
Yeah. There you go.
Angie?
We're talking about what we like to do.
Yeah. Outside of work and
Gouging people
business
head.
and all that.
Yeah. Other than, I got 2 kids, 2 teenagers that drive me nuts. But, that's my number one priority, is just, being there for them. I do,
How do you balance it out?
what I don't. I try to do too much all the darn time, where I'm just like, what the heck? What am I doing? But no, I try to always, do something with my kids, because I just like making memories with them. And, just being, I'm just grateful that I'm able to do for them, the way that I am. And I'm grateful because they do understand that I got a lot going on. I do a lot,
Right.
but at the end of the day, it's for them. What I do is for them.
Mhm.
And then, after losing Tone, I really, I had to really dig deep and just say to myself, like, you got to pick yourself up. You got to keep going.
Mhm.
And getting into fitness and just, going to the gym has really been a way that I've been able to just keep going.
It's
you
just
know.
an escape
It's-
for you.
It's definitely a stress reliever. So I just use that just to keep my head level.
Yeah.
And but then all the benefits too, that you feel better.
You know, I don't feel like I'm getting as winded as much
Tying
walking,
your shoes.
yeah, walking around and stuff. You know, it's so crazy because that's when you really realize you're out of shape because you be like, dang, I just went up one flight. Like,
Yeah.
what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely, I feel a lot better in my body, so I'm grateful for that. But and just like I said, just keeping my head straight, you know, being able to get up every single day and do everything I need to do for myself and for my kids. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I just be going to the gym. I am a shopaholic. You know, Fashion Nova clothes is real cheap. So I don't understand how people be looking raggedy. So I'm gonna be on Fashion Nova. I'm gonna get something. But that's really it. You know, I think being in Merced, I see how we're, you know, we're a real small town, but I love being a part of the community. I love doing the mercados. I love doing any type of social event like that where yes, we're able to promote our business, but then it be a good time too. You know what I mean? I like to go eat. I like the antojitos. What's the antojito? The juices,
The juices,
the
yeah.
fresh waters. I
Antojitos.
love
Yeah.
it. Okay, I didn't say it right. Okay. But you know what
What'd you
I'm
call
talking
it?
about.
What'd you call it?
Antojitos.
Yeah.
Tajitos.
Shout out to Antojitos, okay?
Her
But
juice.
yeah,
That's
it's
what
just
they
a good
Yeah.
time, and then you really get to see everybody that is here in our town, and they all have these awesome small businesses that you can, you know, just go out and help support and things
Right.
like that. The Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, they're awesome. You know, they're always holding something. Now we got the Black Chamber of Commerce. You know, they came out for the our Black History Month block party. So it's just dope. I do enjoy being in a small town where it's like, you know, you don't quite know everybody, but you might have heard about somebody. So you know, it has its
Well, you know
benefits.
somebody that knows somebody that know you, and
It's investment. You're
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I know who you talk about. So
Yeah.
it's cool. I like it. I enjoy being in a small town.
All right. Well,
What?
I think we're almost done with the haircut,
I'll
but
know.
we're gonna go ahead and wrap this episode up, guys. So I want to thank you guys again for tuning in to this special edition right here. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to this special edition of Cocktails and Closings. Again, we're here at Tone the Barberdoll, here 3040 Park Avenue in Merced, California. If you haven't checked them out, come by and check them out. It's a great shop. They're doing really good things for the community. They're doing really amazing haircuts. So again, even if you don't need a haircut, just come by, play air hockey, jump on the arcade game, grab a snack, whatever. But come by, support local businesses. I also want to take a minute to highlight the Merced YPN's rib cook-off that is coming up June 26th. If you have a team that wants to be involved, reach out to me. I can give you details on that. If you want to just come out and get some food, get a plate, there's tickets going around for that as well. So if you want to do either of those, reach out to me. But that is happening June 26th of this month. It'll be right here in Merced at the association office on M Street. So I'll be sure to tag that in the video. Again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I want to thank the team for coming by. I want to thank Angela for the haircut. And please tune in next week, or not, excuse me, not next week. Tune in next episode for I'm going to have a special guest, special location. So I'm not going to give the details away for that one yet, but tune in for that one. I'm excited about that one. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you to the team. Thank you to our videographers. We appreciate you guys. Catch you guys next time. Bye.
We good?
Good.